Good morning, children. Yes. So we have completed most of the parts in that lesson. The last one I have told you yesterday that we will be learning about the glaciers and the different landforms which are created because of the glacier. So we call it as glacial landforms. The landforms which are created due to the glacial activity, that is called what? Glacial landforms. So we have seen yesterday karst topography, which means the land forms, different kinds of landforms are formed due to underground water. Okay, due to underground water, that is called what? We'll be learning about the glacial landforms, and after we finish that, one run through of the lesson, and then finally we will discuss the book back exercise of the lesson. Okay, few questions of that lesson. Fine, children. You can see here the mind map of different landforms of glacier. Okay, erosional landforms and depositional landforms. Erosional landforms and depositional landforms. Because we have seen the activities, erosional activities and depositional activities. These are the two main process we have seen. The same way we will see here. So you can see circuit. Okay, circuit, arrate, pyramidal peak, U-shaped valley, hanging valley, circuit. So these are all the landforms which are due to the erosional activities of glacier. And here, depositional activities of glacier, we have different landforms. They are moraines, drumlin, esker, outwash plain. Okay, moraines, drumlin, esker, outwash plain. So these are all the depositional activities, the landforms. Okay, depositional landforms of glacier. So one more time we will see circuit, arrate, pyramidal peak, U-shaped valley, hanging valley, circuit or the erosional landforms of glacier. The other side, depositional landforms of glacier, we have moraines, drumlin, esker and outwash plain. So about these landforms only we are going to learn now. So let us see about circuit. You can see the picture here. First of all, before learn the concept, you can see the picture here. This is the circuit. Okay, first of all, you know that before we go into the landforms, you know what is glacier. What is glacier? It is a big mass of ice, large mass of ice that moves slowly. When it doesn't move, it is called iceberg. Ice mountains are called what? Iceberg. When it starts moving, that is called glacier. So this glacier is not of small size, it's a big mountain. Okay, the moving mass of ice is called glacier. Okay, so when it moves, it reaches many places and it causes erosional and depositional activities. Okay, all these processes are happening. So here you can see the picture circuit. So let us see what is circuit. The glacier erodes the steep side walls of the mountain and forms a bowl shaped. What is the shape given there? Bowl shaped armchair-like depression. Bowl-shaped armchair. Have you seen the armchair? So that kind of depression, it is termed as cirque. You can see. So this is the bowl-shaped. An armchair means a chair that we can lie on the back and then we can just relax. That is called what? Armchair. So the side of the mountains are eroded due to the glacial activity when it starts moving, and this kind of depression happens over there. What depression? Bowl-shaped depression. So this is called what? Cirque. It is called cirque. Let us see the next one. Here, this is arete. Okay, this is arete. Here, arete are narrow bridges formed when two circular walls join together back to back and forms narrow knife-like ridges. So I will just explain you here. So aretes are narrow bridges. Okay, how is it formed? When two circle we have seen in the previous slide. Okay, one depression, bowl-shaped depression. When two bowl-shaped depressions are joined back to back, then it forms narrow knife-like ridges. When two chairs you put back to back, you will find that connection. So that connected place is called what? Ridge. So I will show you in the picture here. See, you can see here one depression on the one side and here other depression. Okay, circular depression. And you can see here a sharp connection place. This is called what? Ridge. So this is arete. This is arete. So imagine when two chairs are put back to back, the connection place. Okay. So how is it? It is narrow here in the mountainous place. And that is called what? Arete. Next one, pyramidical peak. Okay. What is this called? Pyramidical peak. So the pyramidical peaks are formed when three or more circuits meet together. Same way. How do we get pyramid? Pyramid is a three-dimensional shape. We know that. So when three or more circuits are joined back to back, then we get the pyramidical peak. So we will see here this side one circuit, this side one circuit. When we see that, the exact shape of that circuit will not be there. Okay, exact shape of the circuit will not be there on all the mountains. The bowl-shaped depression will not be there on all the mountains, but it will be there because some side of the bowl-shaped circuit, okay, depression would have got eroded. Okay, but the depression will be there. So when these three or more circuits are joined together, it is called what? Pyramidical peak. You can see the size of the mountains. Okay, example, we have the Matterhorns. This mountain name is Matterhorns. Next one, U-shaped valley. We have learnt about this and we have learnt in some of the lessons previously. When the glacier moves down along a river, the valley further gets eroded deep and wide to form a U-shaped valley. So here, when it is a big mountain, you can just imagine the mountain. Okay, big mountain, when it moves here. Sorry. So when the big mountain moves, what happens? Because of that broader one, okay? So when the mountain is bigger, it carves out the sides of the walls more wider, okay? It carves out, it erodes the sides of the walls of the mountains more wider, and you can see here, okay? So then what kind of shape is formed? U-shape. You can see here, whichever place or through whichever way it passes, it forms the U-shaped valley. It is all because of when it moves down, especially when the big mass of ice moves down, U-shaped valleys occur. U-shaped valleys occur. There are two important concepts you should know. When the river pass and erosional activities happen, V-shaped valleys occur. Okay, when the river pass down, on the way it erodes the mountains and V-shaped valleys are formed. It is due to the erosional activities of river. U-shaped valleys are formed. It is all due to the erosional activities of glacier. Okay, V-shaped valley means river. U-shaped valley, glacier. Fine. So you can see here in the same place, we can see all the four. Okay, in the same place, we can see all the four. Hanging valley, we will see now. See, this is a Q we have, and this is arrayed, what is shown there. And here you can see the U-shaped valley. And this place is called Hanging Valley. Where it is mentioned there, it is called Hanging Valley. What is Hanging Valley? See, the line is mentioned there. Okay, so this is called what? Hanging Valley. Let us see what it is. Okay, these are eroded by tributary glacier and that hangs over the main valley. These are eroded by tributary glacier. Tributary glacier means from the other side it comes. Tributaries means you know that it's not the main river, it is a sub river. So same way this is a tributary glacier that hangs over the main valley. Okay, the larger the glacier, the deeper the valley it can erode. When the valleys are getting eroded, hanging valleys are formed. Okay, hanging valleys are formed. The mountain is not like broader or the peak is not broader for us to walk, or some kind of structure will not be there. Broader structure will not be there. Okay, very steep and sharp one will be there. So that is why it looks like the hanging bridge. So we call it as the hanging valley. It is all due to more erosional activity. It is all due to the more erosional activity and the size of the glacier. So larger the glacier, deeper the valley. Larger the glacier, deeper the valley. Here next one is George. Okay, here George, F is silent. You have to call it as George. So Georges are glacial valleys that are partly submerged in the sea. Partly submerged in the sea. These valleys are near the sea. So some part of the valleys are under, submerged means under the sea. Okay, so that is why we call it as Georges. You can see the picture here. See, this is the water which flows, and you can see the water, river water here. So when the valleys are submerged under the sea, it is called what? Georges. Let us see the depositional landforms of glacier. So after all the erosion activities take place, some pieces of the rocks are carried away and some big pieces of rocks are also get carried away along with all the, we can say that sediments or dirt materials, and it get deposited in some other places. Those are called what? Debris. Those are called what? Glacial debris. Glacial, whatever the materials are getting deposited, those materials are called what? Glacial debris. You can see here. See, glacial debris. Okay, where they get deposited? Always in the low-lying areas. So when they are getting deposited, there are different features are formed, land features are formed, like moraines, drumlins, eskers, kames, outwash plains. That's what we have seen in the flow chart. Okay, so what are all the features? Moraines, drumlins, eskers, kames, and outwash plains. Here, see, you can see here the moraines, landforms formed by the glacial deposits of valley. Okay, glacial deposits. We should not say it as river deposits. All this deposition happens because of glacial activity, glacial mountains. Okay, so glacial deposits of valley or continental glaciers are termed as moraines. landforms formed by the glacial deposits of valley are called moraines. These moraines are of different sizes, different shapes, okay? And sometimes like it looks like ground terminal, lateral moraines. You can see here, all these are called what? Moraines. Here you can see, here you can see. Yes, see some looks like land itself, some looks like mountain, okay? Some places it is bigger, some places it is smaller. All these are called what? Moraines. Next one, drumlin. Okay, drumlins are deposits of glacial moraines. Again, these are the deposits of glacial moraines, but that resemble giant inverted teaspoon or half-cut eggs. Giant inverted teaspoon. If you just invert the teaspoon and see how it looks like, or if you eggs to be cut into half, upside down, how it looks like, same way it looks like. You can see the picture here. These are called what? Drumlins. But these are all formed due to the depositional activities of glacier. Okay, so it looks like inverted teaspoon or half cut egg. Next one, these are eskers. So eskers means a long, narrow winding, okay, winding ridge composed of stratified sand and gravel deposited by a glacial meltwater stream. So this ranges from 16 to 160 feet in height, from 160 to 1,600 feet in width, and a few hundred feet to tens of miles in length. Okay, so it is a ridge. Esker means it is a ridge. It is formed due to the glacial meltwater stream. So you can see here, this is the esker. So it is all shown here also. You can see ridge. Okay, all these are the ridges. It is all due to the glacial melted water. Okay. Next one, outwash plain. Outwash plain. So from the name itself, you can understand that it is out. Okay, let us see what is out. An outwash plain consists of glacial sediments deposited of ice at the terminus of a glacier. So we know what is the terminus. When at that place of the terminus, there are some deposits which are thrown out when they move. Okay, which are thrown out when they move. It appears as an extensive accumulation of sand, gravel, and silt. So what are all thrown? Sand, gravel, and silt are thrown when it moves at a terminus. So this is called what? Outwash plain. Outwash plain. Okay. So sand, gravel, and silt are thrown out when it moves in the terminus. So this is called what? Outwash plain. You can see here, all that are there. That is sand, gravel, and silt are there. Okay, the final one, erosion and depositional land features of wind. We have seen glacier, we have seen river, we have to see underground water also we have seen. Now we have to see about wind, how wind also react on the mountains, whether wind can erode the mountains, whether wind can change the shape of the mountain, size of the mountain. Yes, it will surely change the size of the mountain, shape of the mountain. Even after some years also, the mountains may not be there in that place also. So that kind of erosional activities will happen, especially in the desert areas. You know that desert areas, what kind of features you can see because of the wind? Sand dunes you can see. So that sand dunes may differ from one to another. The size is different, the width is different. So everything we can see there in the desert regions. Let us see how the different landforms are there. See, Aeolian landforms. The landforms which are formed due to the erosional and depositional activities of wind are called Aeolian. It is not Aeolian, it is Aeolian landforms. Aeolian landforms. Okay, so Aeolian processes are those related to wind action. So why the name is given? Because you can see here, Aeolus, the Greek word, and the word is referred to god of the winds. God of the winds. That is why the name is given Aeolian landforms. So even, that's what I said, wind has the capacity to erode even the big rocks. Okay, and it can change the shape of the land and the size of the land. So the wind does the activities of erosion, transportation, and deposition. Erosion, transportation, and deposition. These activities are done according to the speed of the wind, according to the speed, velocity of the wind. So we can see mushroom rock, Inselberg, Yardangs. Mushroom rock, Inselberg, Yardangs. So these are all the erosional landforms of wind. Erosional landforms of wind. So here you can see mushroom rock. I need not say that. From the picture you can understand that due to the erosional activities, because the wind cannot rise to certain level, most of the places, okay, most of the places the wind strikes the objects till this height only. So that is why this, to this height, the sides of the rocks are eroded due to the continuous attack of the wind. Okay, so the top portion of the mountain remains the same. That rock remains the same, only the bottom portion got eroded, because from all the sides, when the wind, we cannot say wind blows in only one direction, it blows in any direction. So the side of the mountains got eroded due to the speed of the wind. So what kind of structure we get? Mushroom structure we get. So we call it as mushroom rock. We call it as mushroom rock, or otherwise known as pedestal rock. Okay, pedestal rock. So these kinds of rocks are found near Jodhpur in Rajasthan. Most of the rocks like mushrooms are found in Rajasthan. So this is Inselberg. So you can see here Inselberg. It is a German term which means an island. The rock looks like a separate island. Nothing else will be there around, okay, in that place. So only that rock will be there, but it looks like an island. It is also called as Inselberg, is also called as island mountain. Okay, certain hard rocks like igneous rocks are more resistant to wind action. So, isolated residual hills rising abruptly from their surroundings are termed as Inselbergs. Example, this mountain, Uluru or Ayers Rock in Australia. This rock is in Australia. This rock is in Australia. It looks like an island. So, it is called as Inselberg, or otherwise called as island mountain. Next one, Yardangs. Okay, Yardangs. In the arid region, certain rocks have hard and soft layers. So we cannot say that all the rocks are of same types, because the mineral content is different. Due to that different contents of minerals, some rocks are called as hard rocks, some rocks are called as soft rocks. Okay, soft rocks will get eroded easily compared to the hard rocks. Soft rocks will get eroded easily compared to the hard rocks. And you can see here, hard and soft layers arranged vertically. In the arid regions, if you see the rocks, you can see layer by layer, if somebody has arranged the stones, like that it looks. Okay, so, but all these are done naturally. When the wind blows over these rocks, the soft layers get eroded, leaving irregular crests, and these irregular crests are called yardangs. So here, this rock, you can see like some structure, some animal structure is there. It is all because of that erosional activities of wind. Okay, if rock contains both hard side and soft side. So soft sided of the rocks got eroded, only the hard ones remain there. Okay, so, and because of that only we get these kind of figures. Okay, So the irregular crusts are called what? Yardangs. Let us see the depositional landforms of wind. Here sand dunes. I need not say that what is sand dune because you have learned it a lot of times from 3rd standard onwards. So in deserts during sandstorms, the winds are carried away from one place to the other place and it piled like a mountain. The sands are piled like a mountain. It looks, so that is why we call it as sand dunes. Sand dunes. So these mounds or hills of sand are called hills of sand, are called sand dunes. There are different types of sand dunes according to the size and width. Okay. Here these are called barchans. Okay, you can see here barchans. Barch are isolated crescent-shaped sand dunes. So you can see here crescent shape. Okay, C-shaped, like a crescent moon. That is why these are called barchans. So they have gentle slopes on the windward side and steep slope on the other side. Gentle slope on the windward side means wind blowing direction. Wind blowing direction. So which side the wind blows? This side the wind blows. So this part of the sand is carried away to some other places. The other side wind cannot strike. Okay, so you can see here the windward side and leeward side is given there. Whichever side the wind blows, the sands are carried away from that place. Okay, so there it forms a crescent shape. This crescent shaped structure is called what? Barchans. Let us see the next sand dune. This is called transverse dunes. This is called what? Transverse dunes. You can see like waves, zigzag way. Transverse dunes are asymmetrical in shape. They are formed by alternative slow and fast winds. Because winds sometimes blow very fast and sometimes blow very slowly. So because of that continuous blow of the wind, but in an alternative way, slow and fast, these transverse dunes are formed. But this is asymmetrical in shape. It is not symmetrical. Symmetrical means both the sides it should be same. But this is asymmetrical in shape. Next one, longitudinal dunes. Okay, longitudinal dunes are long, narrow ridges of sand. So you can see here long, narrow ridges everywhere. So which extend in a direction parallel to the prevailing winds. All you can see like a parallel lines are drawn. These dunes we can see in Sahara, safe in Sahara. These dunes are called safe in Sahara. Longitudinal dunes. Okay, children, I think that the time we will. So for whatever we have learned, you can just go through. Okay. The next one, all the other remaining part, we will see it in the next class. So thank you all children.